Shalom, family, peace and blessings. Welcome to Tuesday's class. Welcome to Tuesday's class. Thank you, everybody for tuning in. We'll get started here in a moment. Speaking about the day of Simon. All praise to the Most High for the observance of the day of Simon. And I seen, out there, people they got different dates and stuff like that, but different times and things of that nature. Y'all do your due diligence, man, and count them days and understand, what you're celebrating and why you're doing it. Make sure your heart is right, man. Make sure your heart is right. All right. Let's go ahead and get started.
All right, is return and face the east. Men, uncover your heads. Women, cover your heads. Israel, blow trumpet. Our Father, which art in heaven, holy be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Heavenly Father, as we celebrate and we observe this day of Simon, Father, we give all glory and honor and praise to you, Father. We give honor to those men who come before us that fought for your word, Lord. There was little light in this dark world. We give honor to the Father that showed us the way to be, Father. Lord, I pray that you be with the brother, that he brings out your word and may touch the hearts of those men and may hear it and continue that fight, Father, for your name. Christ, in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Let's start in the book of Judges. We're gonna start in the book of Judges. Before we jump to Maccabees, we're gonna start in the book of Judges. Judges chapter 5 and verse 11. And we gotta understand something about the book of Judges, man. In that book, a lot of our brothers and sisters, man, they was going off. They was going off, but we were told or instructed to do something in particular. Okay. Because there is judgment that's going to come or that's going to befall the nation of Israel as we know and as we've seen and as we feel today. Okay. So in those places where judgment was brought forth against us, it's something that we must do in that place. Come on.
It's the book of Judges, chapter 5 and verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers.
So those that are not physically dead or put to death, you're delivered from the noise of the archers, the weaponry, the dangers, the sword, the pestilence, all this other stuff. Come on.
And the places of drawing water. There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
So we got to rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord wherever we're scattered, wherever we at. Okay, we must rehearse. Rehearse means what? It actually means to practice. Practice and preparation for something. Okay, practice and preparation. Okay, it's like in acting, it's a read through. Before the actual scene, you're gonna read through it. You're going to actually do it as though you're doing it for real. Okay? You go over the things, you train, you drill, you prepare yourself. That's what rehearsal is, man. Okay? That's what it truly is. So as we read the history of our forefathers and how great and masterful they were in their battles, how great and masterful they were in dealing with the cares of the nation, okay, we got to have that same fervent spirit. We got to have that same might. We got to have that same love and want for the people as they did, as the examples that we have today. So we're going to start in the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 1.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees. Chapter 1, chapter 2. Chapter 2 and verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joreb, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And And he had 5 sons: Jonan, who was called Caddis, Simon Kandasi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar, Abram, and Jonathan, whose surname was Aphus.
So we had 5 sons, okay? And all these sons played a pivotal role in restoring Israel and protecting Israel, okay? Redeeming us out of the hands of our enemies, all right? But in verse 3, it says Simon called Dasi. Simon called Dasi. So we're going to talk about Simon because it's his day. Simon called Dasi. Read on.
Verse 6. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people, and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of the strangers.
So he said, woe that he was able to see the misery, be born into seeing the decayed state of his people, seeing the destroyed minds of the people. This dude felt the ways, and guess what? His sons felt the way too. His sons did too. So they had the same mind that their father did. Okay? Mind you, it's 5 of them. 3 of them are notable. Okay? 3 of them are notable. You got Judah, whose name was Maccabeus. You got Jonathan, and you got Simon. They were the 3 notable ones. Okay? Jump down to verse 49.
Verse 49.
So this is their father. The time is drawing near that their father is dying. So now the sons have to step up and fulfill the role of the father. Remember, the scripture says when you train up your child, when you gone, is as though you never left. It's as though you never left. So he has some good stock. Okay, come on.
He said unto his sons, Now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, in the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
He said, die for this thing. Die for the covenants of your fathers. Give your life for the laws of God, man. That's what we got to teach our sons, man. We got to teach our children the same thing. Give your life for the laws of God. Come on.
Verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall you receive great honor in an everlasting name.
And they have. They received that great honor in an everlasting name. How? We're reading about them today. Okay, read on.
Verse 52. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
So, although our foreparents went through it, okay, they maintained their righteousness and was blessed by the Most High because of it. They were blessed because of it, man. Given great names because of it. Made great examples because of it. All praise to the Most High, man. So when you're going through it, okay, we always look at the negatives as something, but guess what? A picture isn't developed until there's a negative. You don't have the full picture until the negative is complete, it's finished. So that negative has to come. Okay. Come on.
Verse 53. Joseph, number 54, verse 54. Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood.
So Phineas, he obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood because he had the zeal of the Lord, so much so that his brother was in the midst of sin, and he thrust his own brother and the heathen through to stop the evil in the midst of Israel. They loved the will of the Lord. They loved the covenant of God more than anything. That's the examples that we got to follow. Come on.
Verse 55. Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel.
Who's going to judge Israel? Christ. Christ is going to judge Israel. Okay? He fulfilled the word of the Lord, and guess what? He is the ultimate judge. Come on.
56. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land.
It was Joshua and Caleb. They received the promised land. All the rest of their their age group was put to death. They were the only ones from that generation that made it. Joshua and Caleb. Come on.
57. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven.
So everybody think Enoch was just the only one taken up into heaven. Elias was taken up into heaven. Okay. And everybody want to write a book of Enoch. No, they don't want to write the book of Elias, though, do they? You never heard of that, huh? Mm-hmm. Come on.
Ananias, Azarias, and Maziel, by believing, were saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
So none that put their trust in the Lord was going to be overcome by any evil. No weapons, no evil, no people, no nothing. You put your trust in the Lord, okay, and you're going to overcome whatever. That's what you got to believe. That's what you got to understand. Come on.
Verse 62. Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned unto his dust, and his thought is come to nothing. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and shew yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall you obtain glory.
So he's giving them the secret sauce to be righteous men of the Lord and to obtain glory, to obtain the kingdom of God. Give your life for the covenants. Give your life for the laws of God, man. Give yourself to it. Come on.
Verse 65. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you.
So he's the father figure after Mattathias. Y'all see that? He was the one that give wise counsel to the brothers. Okay? They were to hearken unto him. Listen to him. And he should be a father unto you. That's what was instructed. Now, from there, let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 5. So we have Judas Maccabeus, we have Jonathan, and we have Simeon. Okay? Those three are the notable of the five. All right? Mattathias is dying. He's giving them the charge. Now let's get into it. 1 Maccabees 5 and verse 1.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 1. Now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. So
the nations hated the fact that we was getting ourselves together. Much like today. If you get yourself together, you showing that you there's no more evil in the nation. We ain't falling victim to the trickery or craftiness of Esau and the rest of the nations. Like they wanted us to come out in March. Everybody sat home. All our people sat home, right? And then one of them days, they did another march. I'm thinking like Philadelphia. Some of our sisters went out there. Who y'all think they paraded out there first? Sisters. They locked them, zip tied their hands and walking. They doing a duck walk up out of that thing, waddling up out of there. First pictures they put up on online. That's why everybody was in solidarity. Like, sit your behind at home. See, when the nation see us come together, man, they hate it. First comes the hatred, and then settles into fear, because we're a mighty nation when we work together. We're a mighty nation when we grow together. When we build each other up, when we sharpen each other, when we work together collectively, we are a mighty nation. All nations fear that. Okay? That's why they're trying to stop us from coming together. That's why they're trying to stop progression amongst us. They want us to not be affiliated with each other. They want us to not deal with one another. They love that because they're going to continue to flourish in that society or in that process. But when we start to really work together, start to truly build with one another, man, the whole earth is going to fear. They're going to try their hardest to do whatever they can to shut it down, to stop it. Okay, you think they shutting stuff down now? You ain't seen nothing yet. Let us really come together. Everybody boasting about the stuff that they're doing now. Man, this is not the things that our people are doing now is nothing compared to what we should be doing collectively as a nation. We're so scatterbrained as a people. See, but Mattathias, he trained up his sons right. It started first in their household. He gave them the mind to be of the same mind. He gave them the charge to follow the laws of God. Okay? They weren't scatterbrained. They were completely focused. One would say militant. Okay? One would say militant. Come on.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 5 and verse 2. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob that was among them. And thereupon they began to slay and destroy the people. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at Arabataim, because they besieged Israel, and he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils.
So he was fighting Esau or whatever nation that came up against us. This brother was the warrior. This was the battler right here, Judas Maccabeus. Come on.
Verse 4. Also, he remembered the injury of the children of Bean, who had been a snare and an offense unto the people, in that they lay in wait for them in the ways. He shut them up, therefore, in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire, and all that were therein.
So he shut them up in he shut them up in a place, closed them up, and set them on fire. He set them on fire because they lied in wait to attack us. Okay, he didn't forget that. He burned them alive. Come on.
Verse 6. Afterward, he passed over to the children of Ammon, where he found a mighty nation and much people, with Timotheus, their captain. So he fought many battles with them, till at length they were discomfited before him, and he smote them.
Come on.
And when he had taken Zizar with the towns belonging thereunto, he returned unto Judea. Then the heathen that were at Galad assembled themselves together against the Israelites that were in their quarters to destroy them, but they fled to the fortress of Dathema, and sent letters unto Judas and his brethren. The heathen that are round about us are assembled together against us to destroy us. And they are preparing to come and take the fortress whereunto we are fled. Timotheus being captain of the host. Come now, therefore, and deliver us from their hands, for many of us are slain.
So a lot of our people was getting put to death. So they sent out letters for a decree for Judas to come down and for him to fight the battle with them, to get them the heck up out of there. Come on.
Verse 13. Yea, all our brethren that were in the places of Tobiah are put to death. Their wives and their children also they have carried away captives and borne away their stuff, and they have destroyed there about 1,000 men. While these are
when they say 1,000, see our people, when we hear those words and stuff like that, we really don't take into context what that means. 1,000 people is a lot. 1,000 ants, you like, damn, that's a lot of ants. Think about 1,000 people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
14. While these letters were yet reading, behold, there came other messengers from Galilee with their clothes rent, who reported on this wise. And they said, they of Ptolemais and of Tyrus and Sidon and all Galilee of the Gentiles are assembled together against us to consume us. Now when Judas and the people heard these words, there assembled a great congregation together to consult what they should do for their brethren that were in trouble, and assaulted them.
So they was assaulting all of our people round about. So they had to come to Judah Maccabeus and the rest of his brothers to figure out what would be the right course of action. How we gonna defend the people? How we gonna attack the situation? Okay, they had to, do some think tank battle, wartime thinking. Okay, to make sure that their people were good. Come on.
Verse 19. No, I'm sorry.
It's verse
17. 16. Now, when Judas and the people heard these words, there assembled a great congregation together to consult what they should do for their brethren that were in trouble, and assaulted them. Then said Judas unto Simon his brother, choose thee out men, and go and deliver thy brethren that are in Galilee. For I and Jonathan, my brother, will go into the country of Gilead. So he left Joseph the son of Zacharias and Azarias captains of the people, with the remnant of the host in Judea to keep it.
So they split the charge amongst the brothers. Judas and Jonathan went together to Gilead, and Simon went to Galilee, and then they had a garrison to stay in place, to stay there. Come on.
Verse 19, unto whom he gave commandments, saying, take ye the charge of this people, and see that you make not war against the heathen until the time we come again.
So they said, don't do anything until we get there. Come on.
Now unto Simon were given 3,000 men to go into Galilee, and unto Judas 8,000 men for the country of Gilead. Then went Simon into Galilee, where he fought many battles with the heathen, so that the heathen were discomfited by him.
So this brother he ain't spoken about like Judas as being the warrior that Judas was, but this brother was tough. With 3,000, he went in there, he was tearing them heathen up. Okay, word of his deeds and his battles and dealing with the heathen, man. They knew about Simon. They weren't sleeping on that brother. Okay, that brother was a warrior. Y'all gonna understand how great of a warrior he was. Come on.
Verse 22, and he pursued them unto the gates of Ptolemais. And there were slain of the heathen about 3,000 men whose spoils he took.
So he slayed 3,000 men and took all their spoil. That was a heavy feat right there. Come on.
Verse 23, and those that were in Galilee, in Arbatis, with their wives and their children, and all that they had, took he away with them, and brought them into Judea with great joy.
So he redeemed the children, redeemed the wives. Okay, he did the job. This brother was tough. His brother was tough. Okay, because you got to think about it. His father, and all his father's men, his father's brothers and stuff like that, they was doing this. Okay, then these three young men had to inherit the battle. They had to inherit the fight, jump right in. As soon as their father died, they had to jump right in and fill that role. That's a very heavy matter right there, man. Some very big shoes to fill, but they did it. They did it. Okay, from there, jump to chapter 9 and verse 14. Now, remember, we got Judas, we got Jonathan, we got Simon, okay, of the 5 brothers.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 9 and verse 14. Now, when Judas perceived that Bacchides and the strength of his army were on the right side, he took with him all the hardy men, who discomfited the right wing, and pursued them unto the Mount Azotus.
So he's fighting Bacchides. Okay, Judas is in hot pursuit of Bacchides to war. Come on.
Verse 16. But when they of the left wing saw that they of the right wing were discomfited, they followed upon Judas and those that were with him hard at the heels from behind.
So they were attacking the right, okay, and the right was being discomfited, meaning they was being killed. They were being destroyed on that side. So the left side said, all right, we're going to go behind them, okay? So they end up circling back and going behind them. Come on.
Verse 17. Whereupon there was a sore battle, insomuch as many were slain on both parts. Judas also was killed, and the remnant fled.
So Judas Maccabeus was killed. This brother was killed. And all the people that was with him fled. Okay. The army of Bacchides, hey, they were doing us dirty. Come on.
Verse 19. Then Jonathan and Simon took Judas their brother and buried him in the sepulchre of his father in Modin. Moreover, they bewailed him, and all Israel made great lamentation for him, and mourned many days, saying, how is a valiant man fallen that delivered Israel?
How did they kill him? They're mourning Judas. Like, how did they kill? This is one of the mightiest men we've ever seen. How did they kill him? They mourn him, they bewailed him many days. Come on.
Verse 22. As for the other things concerning Judas and his wars, and the noble acts which he did, in his greatness, they are not written, for they were very many.
So all the things that he did wasn't even documented in the Bible. All the works or all the acts that he did wasn't even written. It was so much. It was so much. Come on.
Verse 23. Now after the death of Judas, the wicked began to put forth their heads in all the coasts of Israel. And there arose all such as wrought iniquity. In those days also was there a very great famine, by reason whereof the country revolted and went with them. Then Bacchides chose a wicked man and made them lords of the country.
So what happened? The wicked men, they took over. They began to torment the righteous. Judah Maccabeus, our great warrior, was gone. So now they thought they had an advantage over us. Okay, they thought we was done. Right? Come on.
Verse 26. And they made inquiry and search for Judas' friend.
They was looking for his friends and everything. They said, who was his friends? We don't want them to rise up either. Okay, so we didn't kill Judas, their great warrior. Now we want their friend. We want his friends. Everybody that's affiliated or associated with him, we want them. Come on.
Verse 26. And they made inquiry and searched for Judas's friends, and brought them unto Bacchides, who took vengeance upon them and used them despitefully. Mm-hmm. So was there a great affliction in Israel, the like whereof was not since the time that a prophet was not seen among them. For this cause, all Judas's friends came together and said unto Jonathan, since our brother Judas died, we have no man like him to go forth against our enemies, and Bacchides, and against them of our nation that are adversaries to us.
So they said we don't have nobody to fight for us no more. We don't have a great warrior like Judas Maccabeus, man. Okay, we don't have a great warrior, so we need somebody to fill that gap. We need somebody to fill that role. Come on.
Verse 30. Now therefore we have chosen thee this day to be our prince and captain instead, that thou mayest fight our battles.
So they said, Judas is gone. We need you to step up, Jonathan. We need you, brother. They're putting us to death. They're running us crazy, killing us, destroying us. He's setting up wicked lords of all the lands. We need someone to fight our battles. We've elected you, Jonathan. Come on.
Verse 31. Upon this, Jonathan took the governance upon him at that time, and rose up instead of his brother Judas.
So this brother rose up and he fought in the place of Judas. Come on.
Verse 32. But when
I'm sorry. No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. From there. So Jonathan, he stepped up. He went to battle. Y'all can read the history. He went to battle. He fought. He gave the enemy flight. He got caught up too. Jump to chapter 12 and verse 1.
Book of Maccabees, chapter 12 and verse 1. Now, when Jonathan saw that the time served him, he chose certain men and sent them to Rome for to confirm and renew the friendship that they had with them, and sent letters also to Lacedaemonians and to other places for the same purpose. So they went into Rome and entered into the Senate and said, Jonathan the high priest and the people of the Jews sent us unto you to the end ye should renew the friendship which ye had with them in league as in former time.
So we had a friendship and league with Rome during that time. Or the people in Rome. Okay, come on.
Verse 4. Upon this, the Romans gave them letters unto the governors of every place, that they should bring them into the land of Judea peacefully. And this is the copy of the letters which Jonathan wrote to the Lacedaemonians. Jonathan the high priest and the elders of the nation and the priests and the other people of the Jews unto the Lacedaemonians, their brethren, send greetings. There were letters sent in times past unto Onias, the high priest from Darius, who reigned then among you, to signify that ye are our brethren, as the copy here underwritten doth specify. At which time Onias entreated the ambassador that was sent honorably, and received the letter, wherein the declaration was made of the league and friendship. Therefore we also, howbeit, need none of these things, but that we have the holy books of Scripture in our hands to comfort us. Have nevertheless tempted to send unto you for the renewing of brotherhood and friendship, as we should become strangers unto you altogether.
So he wrote that letter to reaffirm their friendship, to reaffirm the brotherhood of those that were in Rome. Come on.
For there is a long time past since he sent unto us. We therefore at all times without ceasing, both in our feasts and other convenient days, do remember you in the sacrifices which we offer, and in our prayers as reason is, and as it becometh us to think upon our brethren. And we are right glad of your honor. As for ourselves, we have had great troubles and wars on every side, for as much as the kings that are round about us have fought against us. Howbeit we not be troublesome unto you, nor to others of our confederates and friends in these wars. For we have help from heaven that succoureth us, so as we are delivered from our enemies, and our enemies are brought under foot.
So he's saying our enemies are fighting against us. We have help from heaven, and pretty much the Lord is helping us fight our battles. Okay, and our enemies are brought to our footstool as our footstools. Come on.
Verse 16, for this cause we chose Numenius, the son of Antiochus, and Antipater, the son of Jason, and sent them unto Romans, and sent us to the Romans, to renew the amity that we had with them in the former league. We commanded them also to go unto you, and to salute you, and to deliver you our letters concerning the renewing of our brotherhood. Wherefore now you shall do well to give us an answer thereto. And this is the copy of the letters which Onias sent. Arius, king of the Lacedaemonians, to Onias the high priest, greeting. It is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren, and that they are of the stock of Abraham.
So who was he talking to? Was he talking to all the Romans? No, he was talking to his brothers that was in Rome. He was talking to his own people. Okay, his own people. Now, a lot of people would assume that he was talking to the heathens. No, this clears it up right here. Come on.
Verse 22. Now, therefore, since this is come to our knowledge, ye shall do well to write unto us of your prosperity. We do write back again to you that your cattle and goods are ours, and ours are yours.
So was mine is yours, and was yours is mine. They're reaffirming that brotherhood. Like, yeah, I know we over here in Rome, but we for you. We fighting for our nation. We for our people. Okay? And that right there is a strike again against people who say because of your status or your position, you got to be quiet or not do the will of the Lord. Okay, these were Romans. They had Roman citizenship. They were different. They were held to a higher standard. Remember when Paul was getting beat up and all this other stuff, and he said he was a Roman?
Mm-hmm.
People, they lost their mind. They was like, you're a Roman? What? And he confirmed his Roman citizenship. And he appealed to Caesar as a Roman citizen was able to do. They were held to a higher status or higher standard. Okay, it was looked at as better. That's why the brother is writing to them to affirm the brotherhood with them, to make sure we still in league with one another. Okay, they ain't let their position go to their head. Come on.
We do command, therefore, our ambassadors to make report unto you on this wise. Now, when Jonathan heard that Demetrius' princes were come to fight against him with a greater host than afore, he removed from Jerusalem and met them in the land of Amethyst, for he gave them no respite to enter his country. He sent spies also into the tents, who came again and told him that they were appointed to come upon them in the night season. Mm-hmm. Wherefore, so soon as the sun was down, Jonathan commanded his men to watch and to be in arms, that all the night long they might be ready to fight. Also, he sent forth sentinels round about the host.
So sentinels was those that were to watch the gates and watch over the people. They had a watch time of watch where they would go out and guard and observe and things of that nature. So Jonathan, he sound like he's a mighty brother setting up shop, the high priest guiding the people. Okay, much like Judas, much like Mattathias. Come on.
Verse 28. But when the adversaries heard that Jonathan and his men were ready for battle, they feared and trembled in their hearts, and they kindled fires in their camp.
So they was afraid. So they ain't want to attack. Jonathan heard the attack was coming. Somebody snitched. Somebody told. Okay. And they were so afraid that they was walking into an ambush. They just lit the fire and they stayed in their tent. They was like, man, we ain't going out there. Come on.
29. Howbeit Jonathan and his company knew it not till the morning, for they saw the lights burning. Then Jonathan pursued after them, but overtook them not, for they were gone over the river Eleutherus. Wherefore Jonathan turned to the Arabians, who were called the Badians, and smote them and took their spoils. And removing thence, he came to Damascus, and so passed through all the country. Simon also went forth and passed through the country unto Ascalon, and the host there adjoining, from whence he turned aside to Joppa and won it.
So that brother was still winning strongholds. He was still fighting and winning against the heathen. Okay, him and Jonathan, Simon and Jonathan, they was doing their thing. Okay, they were still holding the charge, keeping the charge, holding the line, as someone would say. Come on.
Verse 34. For he had heard that they would deliver the hold unto them that took Demetrius' part, before he set a garrison there to keep it. After this came Jonathan home again, and calling the elders of the people together, he consulted with them about building strongholds in Judea, and making the walls of Jerusalem higher, and raising a great mountain between the tower and the city, for to separate it from the city, that so it might be alone, that men might neither sell nor buy in it. Upon this they came together to build up the city, for as much as part of the wall toward the brook on the east side was falling down, and they repaired that which was called Kaphinatha. Simon also set up Adida in Siphala, and made it strong with gates and bars.
So they restoring all the cities. They're going around about restoring all the cities. Come on.
39. Now Tryphon went about to get the kingdom of Asia, and to kill Antiochus the king, that he might set the crown upon his head. Howbeit he was afraid that Jonathan would not suffer him, and that he would fight against him. Wherefore he sought a way how to take Jonathan, that he might kill him. So he removed and came to Bethsan. Then Jonathan went out to meet him with 40,000 chosen. Then Jonathan went out to meet him with 40,000 men chosen for the battle, and came to Bethsan. Now when Tryphon saw that Jonathan came with so great a force, he durst not stretch his hand against him.
He said, "Nah, I ain't messing with y'all." He seen an army of men. He seen Jonathan leading them. He was like, "Nah, I'm not messing with y'all. Come on."
But received him honorably, and commanded him unto all his friends, and gave him gifts, and commanded his men of war to be as obedient unto him as to himself.
So he was gonna fight against them. He saw the great host, and then he changed his mind, and then he went from foe to friend real quick. Y'all see that? He went from foe to friend real quick. Come on.
44. Unto Jonathan also he said, "Why hast thou put all this people to so great trouble, seeing there is no war betwixt us?"
Why you bring all these people, seeing that we ain't your enemy? We ain't fighting against you. He had in his mind to fight against them. He saw that host and was afraid. He was like, "Nah, we ain't mess with them. Get him some gifts." They scrounged us some stuff real quick, didn't it? Come on.
Verse 45. Therefore send them now home again, and choose a few men to wait on thee, and come thou with me to Ptolemais. For I would give it thee, and the rest of the strongholds and forces, and all that have any charge. As for me, I will return and depart, for this is the cause of my coming. So Jonathan, believing him, did as he bade him, and sent away his hosts, who went into the land of Judea.
He believed that, man. Okay, everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't cool with you. Okay, he believed that man, so he sent the host away, and he tarried there. Now, let's see if that was a mistake, or lapse of judgment, or if that was something good. Come on.
Verse 47. And with himself he retained but 3,000 men, of whom he sent 2,000 unto Galilee, and 1,000 went with him. Now, as soon as Jonathan entered into Ptolemais, they of Ptolemais shut the gates and took him, and all them that came with him they slew with the sword.
See that? So they tricked his brother. They tricked him. They said, man, hold on, we ain't your enemy. Look, here goes some gifts, here goes some stuff, man. Take this. Take this. You good. Why you got so many? Why is the host so big? Why you got so many people with you? Why your entourage so big, brother? Seeing that you ain't got no enemies over here, send them away. Y'all can stay. They was plotting the whole time. He had 3,000. He sent 2,000 away. 1,000 stayed with him. As soon as they saw the numbers thinning, they saw the opportunity. What did they do? They shut the gates and they killed him. Dang. They shut the gates and they killed him. Okay. So now Mattathias is dead. Judas is dead. Now Jonathan is dead. Come on.
Verse 49. Then sent Tryphon and host of footmen and horsemen into Galilee, into the great plain, to destroy all Jonathan's company.
So he divided them to conquer them, then the herd, so to speak, shut the gates on them, killed Jonathan, and then had an army ready and prepared to go and kill the rest of his army, the rest of his people. Come on.
Verse 50. But when they knew that Jonathan and they that were with him were taken and slain, they encouraged one another and went close together, prepared to fight.
So they was encouraging each other to continue to destroy the rest of them. They knew Simon was out there somewhere. They knew the rest of his men, the rest of his friends was out there. So they was going to keep war, keep going to battle. Come on.
Verse 51. They therefore that followed upon them, perceiving that they were ready to fight for their lives, turned back again. Whereupon they all came into the land of Judea peaceably. And there they bewailed Jonathan and them that were with him. And they were sore afraid, wherefore all Israel made great lamentation.
So those that he sent away, they turned back, especially when they heard Jonathan was dead. They turned back to fight, and then they returned back to Judea peaceably, meaning they did all they needed to do. They did work. Okay? But they went there and they lamented for this brother. They mourned for this brother. Okay? Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your partner. You gotta, I'm telling you, especially of the heathen, man, you can't trust nothing that, listen, anyone that ain't keeping the commandments, man, you can't trust nothing that they say. Okay, even if it's sincere, he probably was real chummy with this guy. Okay, real chummy, comfortable enough to let his guard down. And in doing so, hence the death of Jonathan. Read the last verse.
Verse 53. Then all the heathen that were round about them sought to destroy them. For said they have no captain, nor any to help them.
And that's what the nations look for. They look for the lapse of leadership. They look to divide us and conquer us. They look to take out all the proposed or all the leaders. Remember what Herod tried to do. Okay, he tried to kill Christ before Christ was even born. Okay. Look what Pharaoh tried to do. Pharaoh tried to kill all the men children before they were even born. All that, you got to understand, that's out of fear, man. That's out of fear. And when they see the opportunity, they're going to pounce. They're going to pounce to try to destroy our nation. They're going to pounce and they will put you at ease so they can bring forth their agenda. They're gonna make you real comfortable so they can do all that they want to do against you. Okay. Meanwhile, the destruction of your nation is their goal. Okay. It says they sought to destroy them, for they said they have no captain nor any to help them. They don't have no leader. They don't have no ruler. Judas is dead. Jonathan is gone. Mattathias is long dead. They don't have nobody to help them. Come on.
Now, therefore, let us make war upon them and take away their memorial from among men.
Let's destroy them and destroy their name from off this earth. That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying. See, they won't talking that junk when Mattathias was alive, though. Y'all know that, right? They won't talking that smack when Judas was alive. They was afraid. Jonathan, this brother, man, he was just too chummy, too friendly. But they won't talking junk with him. They went from, all right, we going to war to now. We need to bring them some gifts. Nah, we need to welcome them. You know, we need to soften this blow. We need to soften them up so that we can destroy them later. They would think about that the whole time. You know?
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 13 and verse 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it, and saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together and gave them exhortation, saying, "Ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary, the battles also and troubles which we have seen. By reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone."
He said, man, my brothers died for y'all. My brothers died to maintain the safety of the nation, and I am left here alone. Okay, but you got to understand something, man. With the Most High, and according to you doing His will, you're never alone. You're never alone. This brother wasn't alone, and we're gonna show you, according to what we read, that he truly wasn't alone. This brother, he reigned and he picked up the charge, just like Jonathan, who died, just like Judas, who died, and Mattathias, who died. He picked up and he pushed forward. Okay, come on.
Verse 5. Now therefore be it far from me that I should spare mine own life in any time of trouble, for I am no better than my brethren. Doubtless I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children, for all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice.
So he said, look, he said, I'm not trying to save my own life. My brothers died for this. You think I'm not? My brothers died for you, died to keep you safe. You think I won't? Okay. This brother, he's showing that they're cut from the same cloth. He's showing that, hey, when it comes down to the commandments of the Lord and the covenants that the Lord has made with us, I'm gonna lay down my life for it, because that's what his father instructed. It was nothing to them to lay down their life for the laws of God. That's all they learned from their youth up. And they seen the example of their father, Mattathias. Come on.
Verse 7. Now as soon as the people heard these words, their spirit revived, and they answered with a loud voice, saying, "Thou shalt be our leader instead of Judas and Jonathan, thy brother."
So, hold on. So they was sulking. It was like, man, we ain't got no mighty warriors. They said the same thing with Jonathan. They said the same thing with Jonathan. We don't have no mighty warrior to go in and out for us, to fight for us. Jonathan said, hold my, what did they say? Hold my beer. He said, hold my shofar, hold it. Okay, let me show you something. Okay. Hey, Jonathan died. They said, we don't have anybody. All they needed to hear was a word. And that sometimes that encouragement, man, it goes a long way. That's why it's important that we tell each other, listen, I got your back. We let each other know, listen, hey, you good, man. I'm here. We here together. We good. You got a leader. What do people do? I said, man, all right, you can be our leader. You can be, man, we good. You the high priest. You gonna guide us. You know what I'm saying? All they needed to hear was a word. Come on.
Verse 9. Fight thou our battles, and whatsoever thou commanded us, that we do.
Fight with us, fight our battles, and whatever you command us, we will follow. We're gonna obey. Come on.
Verse 10. So then he gathered together all the men of war and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem, and he fortified it round about. And he sent Jonathan the son of Absalom, and with him a great power, to Joppa, who casting out them that were therein remained therein in it. So Tryphon removed from Ptolemais with a great power to invade the land of Judea, and Jonathan was with him in war. But Simon pitched his tents at Adida over against the plain, Now, when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan and meant to join battle with him, he sent messengers unto him, saying, Whereas have Jonathan thy brother in hold. And whereas we have Jonathan thy brother in hold, it is for money that he is owing unto the king's treasure, concerning the business that was committed unto him.
Y'all see what this bastard is saying? He said, we got your brother hostage. Your brother owes us money. We got him hostage. He ain't dead. He's good. We got him hostage. All you got to do is come bring us the money. Come on, come through and bring us the money. That's all you got to do. Okay, come on.
Verse 16. Wherefore now send 100 talents of silver and 2 of his sons for hostages, that when he is at liberty, he may not revolt from us, and we will let him go. Whereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him.
So Simon wasn't fooled by that nonsense. Simon ain't have a whole host of army and remember what Mattathias said about this brother. He said he should be like a father to you. Seek counsel of him. This brother was wise in counsel, so he understood subtlety when he heard it. He understood subtlety when he heard it, so he was like, nah, my brother dead. I'm not sending his sons. I'm not sending no money. I'm not doing none of that stuff. My brother's dead. Come on.
Whereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him, yet sent he the money and the children, lest peradventure he should procure to himself great hatred of the people, who might have said, because I sent him not the money and the children, therefore is Jonathan dead. So he sent them the children and the 100 talents. Howbeit Tryphon dissembled that neither would he let Jonathan go. And after this came Tryphon to invade the land and destroy it, going round about by the way that leadeth unto Adora. But Simon and his hosts marched against him in every place, whithersoever he went. Now they that were in the tower sent messengers unto Tryphon, to the end that he should hasten his coming unto them by the wilderness, and send them victuals. Wherefore Tryphon made ready all his horsemen to come that night, but there fell a very great snow, by reason whereof he came not. So he departed and came into the country of Galiad. And when he came near to Bascamah, he slew Jonathan, who was buried there. Afterward, Tryphon returned and went into his own land. Then sent Simon and took the bones of Jonathan his brother and buried them in Modim, the city of his fathers. And all Israel made great lamentation for him, and he bewailed him many days. Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the site, with hewn stone behind and before.
So he made an altar. Okay, he made a sepulchre there for him, for all his father and his brothers. Right? What did the sepulchres look like? Read the next verse.
Verse 28. Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids.
He set up what, brother?
Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids, one against another for his father and his mother and his 4 brethren.
So the pyramids that we were forced to make in Egypt and the pyramids that you brothers and sisters see around the 4 corners of the earth, that was a construction that we made. That was by direction of us. Okay. Simon did the same for his father, his brothers, and his mother. Okay. He made them pyramids, setting them one against another. Okay, come on.
Verse 29. And in these he made cunning devices, about the which he set great pillars. And upon the pillars he made all their armor for a perpetual memory. And by the armor ships carved, that they might be seen of all that sail on the sea. This is the sepulchre which he made at Modim, and is standing yet until this day. Now Tryphon dealt deceitfully with the young king Antiochus, and slew him. And he reigned in his stead, and crowned himself king of Asia, and brought a great calamity upon the land. Then Simon built up the strongholds of Judea, and fenced them about with high towers, and great walls, gates, and bars, and laid up victuals therein. Moreover, Simon chose men and sent to King Demetrius, to the end he should give the land in immunity, because all that Tryphon did was to spoil. And to whom King Demetrius answered and wrote after this manner: King Demetrius unto Simon the high priest, and friend of kings, as also unto the elders and nation of the Jews, sendeth greeting. The golden crown and the scarlet robe which he sent unto us, we have received, and we are ready to make a steadfast peace with you. Yea, and to write unto our officers to confirm the immunities which we have granted. And whatsoever covenants we have made with you shall stand, and the strongholds which ye have builded shall be your own. As for an oversight or fault committed unto this day, we forgive it, and the crown tax also which ye owe us.
So they said we forgive the tax, we forgive anything that you owe us. You know what I'm saying? They said we forgive all that. Like y'all are good. Come on.
And if there were any other tribute paid in Jerusalem, it shall no more be paid.
Don't pay no more taxes, no more tribute. Come on.
Verse 40. And look who are meet among you to be in our court. Let them be enrolled, and let there be peace betwixt us.
So they're calling forth of peace now. Okay. They're calling forth of peace. Demetrius is trying to make amends for all the evil that old buddy had did. Okay. He overcame him, and now guess what? They call for peace. Tryphon is gone. Come on.
Verse 41. Thus the yoke of the heathen was taken away from Israel in the 107th year. Then the people of Israel began to write in their instruments and contracts. In the first year, Simon the high priest, the governor and leader of the Jews. In those days, Simon camped against Gaza and besieged it round about. He made also an engine of war and set it by the city and battered a certain tower and took it. And they that were in the engine leaped into the city, whereupon there was a great uproar in the city.
So it was a battering ram. He was tearing, they was tearing stuff up. Come on.
And they that were, verse 45. Insomuch as the people of the city rent their clothes and climbed upon the walls with their wives and children, and cried with a loud voice, beseeching Simon to grant them peace.
Give us peace, Simon. Give us peace. Simon, like, man, I'm gonna beat these walls down. Boy.
Verse 46. And they said, deal not with us according to our wickedness, but according to thy mercy.
Have mercy on us, Simon. Have mercy. Come on.
So Simon was appeased toward them and fought no more against them, but put them out of the city and cleansed the houses wherein the idols were. And so enter into it with songs and thanksgiving.
So he cleansed the city, kicked them the hell up out of there. Okay. And they had a ball. Okay. They had a ball doing it. Read on.
Verse 48. Yea, he put all uncleanness out of it and placed such men there as would keep the law, and made it stronger than it was before, and built therein a dwelling place for himself. They also of the tower in Jerusalem were kept so straight that they could neither come forth, nor go into the country, nor buy, nor sell. Wherefore they were in great distress for want of victuals, and a great number of them perished through famine. Then cried they to Simon, beseeching him to be at one with them, which thing he granted them. And when he had put them out from thence, he cleansed the tower from pollutions.
He was cleansing the tower, cleansing the city. He was cleansing everything. He was giving a decree. He was made friendship with Demetrius, okay? And he was cleansing everything. All right. They didn't want to battle no more. They didn't want to go to war no more. Okay. They didn't want to fight. Once he cleansed the city, they just got up out of there and left. Come on.
Verse 51. And entered into it the 23rd day of the second month, in the 171st year, with thanksgiving and branches and palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with viols, and hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel.
So our enemy was being destroyed right in front of our face. So we're celebrating that thing. Celebrating. Okay, come on.
Verse 52. He ordained also that the day should be kept every year with gladness. Moreover, the hill of the temple that was by the tower he made stronger than it was, and there he dwelt himself with his company. And when Simon saw that John his son was a valiant man, he made him captain of all the hosts, and he dwelt in Gazra.
So this brother continued on, and he implemented a day of observance for the cleansing of everything. Okay. It says he ordered also that day should be kept every year with gladness. Okay. so the day of Simon is to be kept every year with gladness. Why? Because he wiped everything out, cleansed everything, the tower, the temple, everything. Okay, in the stead of his brothers and his father. Okay, in the stead of his brother and his father. So on the 3 and 20th day of the second month, okay, with thanksgiving, so with feasting, with branches, with palm trees, with harps, cymbals, and vowels, hymns and songs. So singing, feasting, eating, and things of that nature. But it's not, this is an observance, a rehearsal. Okay, this is not a high holy day. I want to make that clear. This is not a high holy day that's observed as a Sabbath. Okay. We're gonna end it with chapter 14.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 14, and verse 4. As for the land of Judea, that was quiet in all the days of Simon.
So he had everything quiet around him. It was peaceful. He brought the peace back to the nation of Israel. Okay. The works of Simon, that's why we celebrate them. You know, we celebrate the acts, things of that nature. He brought the peace back. It still was hell. We were still going through hell during the time of Mattathias, during the time of Judas, and the time of Jonathan. And they were seen, it was seems that they were much greater warriors than Simon. Okay. But Simon is getting the utmost honor because he brought that peace back to the nation. Come on.
As for the land of Judea, that was quiet all the days of Simon, where he sought the good of his nation in such wise, as that evermore his authority and honor pleased him well. Mm-hmm. And as he was honorable in all his acts, so in this that he took Joppa for an haven, and made an entrance to the isles of the sea, and enlarged the bounds of his nation, and recovered the country.
So he began to recover our country. So all these nations that took our lands and took, and fought against us, he recovered all that, man. He recovered it all. It says, and enlarged the bounds of his nation, his people. Come on.
Verse 7. And gathered together a great number of captives, and had the dominion of Gazra and Besura and the tower, out of the which he took all uncleanness, neither was there any that resisted him.
Nobody could fight against him. He removed all evil, all idols, all uncleanness from the cities, from the places. Come on.
Verse 8. Then did they till their ground in peace, and the earth gave her increase, and the trees of the field their fruit.
And we ain't had to worry about none. The Lord was then taking care of us. All praise to the Most High. Okay, come on.
Verse 9. The ancient men sat all in the streets, communing together of good things, and the young men put on glorious and warlike apparel.
So they was chilling. They were chilling, enjoying life. Okay, the heathens couldn't fight them no more. Hey, they couldn't put a hand to harm us. We were in peace, utter peace. Okay, and everyone was thankful. The old men, they out and about. The young men in warlike apparel. Everybody feasting and happy and excited. Okay, come on.
Verse 10. He provided victuals for the cities.
So he gave all the cities, he gave them food. Remember, it was a famine. Okay, it was a famine. He gave all the cities food. Come on.
And set in them all manner of munition, so that his honorable name was renowned unto the end of the world.
So he gave them weaponry, he gave them food, he took care of them. Okay, so his honorable name is renowned unto the end of the world. So all Israel knows who Simon was in the acts of Simon. Okay, that's why the day of Simon is important, that we understand, that we go through the history, okay, and that we remember all the acts. Come on.
Verse 11. He made peace in the land, and Israel rejoiced with great joy.
See that? He made peace in the land. No nation was coming up against us. We were good. Okay. He made peace in the land. Come on.
Verse 12. For every man sat under his vine and his fig tree, and there was none to fray them.
We won't worry about none. We was chilling on the fig tree, kicked back. We was enjoying ourselves in our land. Come on.
Verse 13. Neither was there any left in the land to fight against him. Yea, the kings themselves were overthrown in those days.
So we overthrew everybody. The Lord showed us the utmost favor during the time of Simon. Okay, during the rule of Simon, or the reign of Simon. Come on.
Verse 14. Moreover, he strengthened all those of his people that were brought low. The law he searched out, and every contemner of the law and wicked person he took away.
So if you were wicked, if you were evil, you being taken away, meaning you was put to death. You was getting the hell from away from us. We saw the favor. Everybody saw the favor that the Lord was bringing upon the nation of Israel, and he searched out the wicked. No, you gotta die. You gotta go. You gotta go. Nah, get away from us. Come on.
Verse 15. He beautified the sanctuary and multiplied the vessels of the temple.
So he increased us. He beautified the sanctuary, the place of succors, the place of comfort, the place of peace, the place of forgiveness. He beautified that thing. He made our situation in our lives better. Okay, made our lives better and brought us that peace that we we don't deserve, but we need it. Okay, come on.
Verse 16. Now when it was heard at Rome and as far as Sparta that Jonathan was dead, they were very sorry.
In Rome and Sparta. Why did it say Rome and Sparta? I need y'all to understand something. In Rome, remember, he was speaking to our brothers of the stock of Abraham in Rome and in Sparta. So when you hear Sparta, you think of 300. The 300 was the Israelite brothers and sisters that, they depicted as being Grecians. That was us. That was us. Okay. So when they heard that Jonathan was dead in Rome and Sparta, remember who was being written to, who was being spoken to. It was of the seed or stock of Abraham. Okay, come on.
Now when it was heard at Rome and as far as Sparta that Jonathan was dead, they were very sorry. But as soon as they heard that his brother Simon was made high priest in his stead and ruled the country and the cities therein, they wrote unto him in tables of brass to renew the friendship and league which they had made with Judas and Jonathan his brother.
So that brother, he stepped right in and he brought peace to the nation of Israel. Okay, and when the Romans and those of Sparta, they heard that Jonathan was dead, they thought all hope was gone. Okay, our nation, they felt for our nation. But when they heard Simon was in place, what they do? They wrote letters. They said, nah, make sure, y'all need something. We here, we your brothers. Okay, we're your brethren. Okay, they reassured them. You can read the letter in the rest of the chapter, chapter 14. About the fortified cities and things of that nature. Okay, but Simon stepped up, and this day and the time appointed, okay, is for celebration, it's for observance, it's for rehearsal, and acknowledging what Simon did. Okay, this brother was prepared, as we must be. Okay, he was trained. He was pretty much groomed by his father and saw the actions of his brothers to know exactly what to do and how to help protect the people. And he did such a great job that we honor the work that he did in preparation of bringing the peace to the nation of Israel. You can sit amongst your vine, you can sit back and relax and chill and enjoy yourself in your land. Okay, we can't do that now. Can't do that now. You rest up if you want to. Somebody gonna run up on you and take whatever you got. Okay, but all praise to the Most High, man, as we observe the day of Simon. Okay, we thank the Lord for sending these righteous brothers, 5 brothers in particular, 3 notable. All right, and as the Lord returns us back to our rightful place and our rightful mind, we pray that we have a semblance of the spirit that these brothers have. Okay, and as we try to rebuild our nation as we go, we ain't gonna be here forever. As we go, Lord's will, we're building up men behind us that's going to continue to build this thing up as well. Okay, but that's all I got for today's class. I pray it was edifying. I love going over the history. That's all we got for today. Any questions? Any questions? And those of you that's on the internal group, I hope y'all seen the notification. Did you see it, bro? The notification for the feast today?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. All right. So we sending out notifications and everything. I don't want nobody had no excuse. No, you know what I'm saying? No excuse to miss out. We're gonna make sure everybody that's affiliated with us, that they're in line and in order with the high holy days. They know what they're about. There's no question. Okay, and I gotta update them on the website as well. Gotta add all the high holy days on the website, so you brothers and sisters can, at the touch of a click of a button, you can have the understanding. So all praises, all praises. Great edification, all praises. All right. Well, I don't see any questions. If y'all have any from now till Thursday, y'all know where to send them. info@heirsofisrael.org. Okay. Or you can send them through to the website at www.heirsofisrael.org. All right. Again, classes start Tuesday and Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. on Sunday, and on the lowest Sabbath, which is the seventh day, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. That's all we got. Again, enjoy the feast or the day of Simon, gladness and mirth. Until Thursday, shalom, peace and blessings.
Shalom, peace and blessings.